Hey everybody, Kevin at Holy Grail BBQ. It's rib time. So today, it's going to be a little scattered showers, but we're going to try to squeeze in a spare rib smoke here on the Green Mountain Grill Daniel Boone model, and it's going to be good stuff. Alright, so you got your smoker fired up. Make sure you get your smoker tube ready. We're going to add some extra smoke to it. Alright everybody, just typical prep here. We're going to remove the silver skin from the back side of the ribs. Also, these are St. Louis cut. So we're going to, these usually have 13 ribs. We're going to count, we're going to find the biggest rib, which should be number 10, and trim off a nice little box so that we got a nice even cook through the entire rack of ribs. And that'll be on our competition one. For our regular backyard barbecue one, we're just going to remove the skin and put on the dry rub.
Daddy, why are you peeling off the skin?
So I peel off the skin because this skin doesn't melt with the heat. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is the longest. This one here will be the longest rib.
How do you know?
Just generally how they work. Sometimes they're 13, sometimes they're 14. Generally they're 13 ribs, I think. So we find the end of the rib here, and we're just going to trim right across like that.
How do you find it?
You feel for it. You want to feel for it?
No.
Yeah, that's what that's doing. Alright everybody, we got a competition rack and a regular backyard barbecue rack. One thing I wanted to point out is on the end there's always a flap that should be removed. Generally it's not the best meat and it doesn't render real well. So you can see I took my blade and removed this, I don't know, I call it a flap, a false flap. I don't know, there's a technical name for it. So remove that, it'll cook better, it'll cook more even throughout the entire length of the rib. Alright, so we got the first layer of dry rub on here. My dry rub, Holy Grail barbecue dry rub, is just pretty simple. It's the basics. Paprika, which is pretty standard for these things. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, pretty standard. I do have some special ratios that I use just because we like a little bit milder of a pepper flavor in this household. Other places have a little bit stronger pepper flavor. Just all personal taste. Alright, so here's the deal. 275 degrees on the Daniel Boone model of the Green Mountain Grill pellet smoker. Using hickory pellets today. And you saw me light up the smoker tube with the hickory pellets inside there. So the grill is up to temperature. We're going to put these ribs on, and I like using a rack. You'll see it when I put it on. The rack just keeps the fat from pooling on the meat, which I think just is unsightly. So it'll make your ribs look better, and I think just the way it drains them out, it'll give them a nice texture. I like the way they come out. So check it out, see what you think. Try them without. You might like them better. So far the rain has held off, so it's turned out to be a decent day. It's overcast. But I wanted to show you what's going on with these ribs. I've got apple juice that I'm spritzing on there every half hour or so. It makes for a nice crisp bark on top of the ribs, and they'll be coming off. It's about almost 2.5 hours now since they've been on. They'll be coming off at that point. I'll do a couple of bend tests to see if the bark is set. If it is, then I'll pull them off, and we'll do some other prep work on them. We'll wrap them and do the finishing touches. So you can do a couple things to tell if your bark is set yet. One of the main ones that I like to do is just try to scratch the surface here. If the stuff isn't coming off, it means it's set. The other thing you can do is what they call a bend test, where you just like bend the rack and see if the bark cracks. A lot of times I think that that's getting too done if it's at that point. So I would go with this scratch test. Just see if it comes off. If it doesn't, your bark is set. Take a look at the great, I've got my assistant Claire being the cameraman here. Take a look at the, she's waving. Take a look at the great mahogany color that we got on this. And the bark is set. It's nice and solid. These things are not dried out. Take a look at how much they've come off the bone. Maybe about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch in some places, next to none in others. And that's good because it's gonna cook even longer. So we're at a good spot right now to sauce these things up and then wrap them and cook them for another hour. Okay folks, check it out here. My saucing includes these 4 items here. First we're gonna coat with some brown sugar, just a light sprinkling of it. I'm gonna hit it with some Kraft Original barbecue sauce. We love this stuff. It's so basic, but we love the flavor of it. Then we're gonna add some honey and apple juice before those 2 things. So come over here and take a look.
Question.
I've already done, yes?
Are we supposed to add brown sugar, then apple juice, and then this, and then that?
Absolutely.
We don't do it that way.
That's right. So I already did the back, the competition rib. I already sauced that one up. So here, I'll just show you my technique. Then, apple juice, just a real light little sprinkle on it. Then,
the bear honey.
Honey.
With the bear.
With the bear. That's the best part, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The bear. And then the barbecue sauce, again, just a little light drizzle. At this point, this is where you can adjust the temperature. If, say you've got dinner guests coming, you're ahead of schedule, drop the temperature down and give yourself a little bit extra time. It only buys you a few minutes though, you know, maybe 15 minutes or so. But don't worry, if these things are done before your dinner guests arrive, they'll keep. You put them in a cooler and they'll stay just perfect. As a matter of fact, the fat will probably render even more. And these things will be even more tender. So don't worry about timing there. As long as you're not 5 hours out, you're good to go.